From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
Welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson, and this is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. We've got another good first round match for you today. We've got North Boone against Hononegah. Let's just go ahead and meet the teams. So we'll start with the North Boone Vikings. This is the 8th straight year that we've seen North Boone. After a first round exit a year ago, the Vikings are looking to make it back into round 2. Ava, you're the captain. Let's meet you and your team.
I'm Ava from North Boone. To my left is Ella, to my far right is London, and to my near right is Camilla.
Welcome. And facing off against them are the Hononegah Indians, who have been in the Quiz Bowl since day 1. Like North Boone, the Indians are trying to get back to round 2 for the first time in about 3 or 4 seasons. But let's go ahead and meet this year's team. Emma, you're the captain.
My name is Emma. To my right is Riley. To my left is Elijah. And to my far left is Molly.
Welcome to you as well. We might as well get started. The game plays the same as it always is. So we start with the buzz-in round, which is powered by IBEW NECA. These are on the buzzer, solo attempts, 10 points for right answers. Good luck, both teams. Let's roll. What concept, which names the band that included Something in the Way on their album Nevermind, is the state of liberation from suffering in Hinduism? Elijah.
Nirvana.
That's right. Next question. What singer, whose 2017 debut album was Stranger in the Alps, formed Boy Genius with Julian Baker and Lucy Dacus? That's time. That one's Phoebe Bridgers, favorite of mine. Next question. What city, whose Andrassy Avenue contains the House of Terror, is home to the Széchenyi Chain Bridge on the Danube River and the Hungarian Parliament? Ava.
Budapest?
That's right, because it's the capital. What romantic poet who died at age 25 wrote that a thing of beauty is a joy forever in his 1818 poem Endymion? That's Ava.
Shelley?
Sorry, no. Emma?
Poe.
No, this is John Keats, Shelley's best friend, so you basically missed it by as little as possible. Next question. What composer depicted Guglielmo and Ferrando duping their fiancées Fiordiligi and Dorabella in his opera Così fan tutte? That's time. Despite all the Italian, that's Mozart. What author of The Theory of Moral Sentiments discussed the division of labor of a pin factory in his foundational book, The Wealth of Nations? That's Emma.
Adam Smith.
Yes. Wien's displacement law describes the radiation emitted by what idealized physical body that absorbs all light that falls on it? Emma?
Black hole.
No, sorry. But I was done with the question. That's time. It's a black body, which is a different thing, so we can't take it. In April of 2025, Susan Crawford defeated Brad Schimmel to maintain the liberal majority on what Midwestern state's Supreme Court? Elijah?
Wisconsin.
That's right. Nice buzz. What retired National Guard Sergeant Major responded to George Floyd's murder as governor of Minnesota and was Kamala Harris's running mate? Ava?
Waltz?
Yes. Tim Walz, he pronounces it, but obviously you're right. Musical works in what genre include a Joan Tower work for The Uncommon Woman and an Aaron Copland work for The Common Man? Those are both fanfares. You might recognize the Copland one from the Olympics. What hero, who defeated bandits guarding 6 entrances to the underworld, used a ball of thread to navigate the labyrinth and Ava?
Theseus?
That's right. What politician who secured a civil rights plank in the 1948 Democratic platform was Lyndon Johnson's vice president and lost the election of 1968? Time, I'm afraid we've gone back to Minnesota again. That's Hubert Humphrey. What irrational number is 1 less than the silver ratio, is approximated by the decimal 1.414, and is the square root of the smallest even number? That's Emma?
I.
No, but I was done. Ava?
E.
No, this is the square root of 2. There isn't a fancier name for it, so it's just one of those things, by the time we've heard the whole question, it feels weird. And the Canadian $1 coin features what kind of bird, which is sometimes called a diver? Molly?
A Canadian goose?
No, sorry. That's time. That's a loon. They've got loons on those coins. And that is the end of round 1. We're off to a flyer, and we got as close a game as you can have. It's 30-30 heading into our first commercial break. See you in a moment. Welcome back. We've seen some good individual play so far, but it's time for these teams to work as teams on our volleyball round. But before we get into that, I would like to take the moment and thank our judge today, who is Jerry Labai, the chair of the Mass Communication Program at Rock Valley College. Jerry, thank you for all you do. We couldn't do this without our judges. I think it's essentially every game that the judge does something that ends up invisible to the viewer at home, but absolutely vital here in the room. So thank you again. Let's play a volleyball round. So we know that the answers here have to come from the captains. We know that the questions aren't rebounding to the other team if you miss or anything like that. We just bounce them back and forth, and that's why this round is called that. So Hononegah, first question is yours. Here we go. What novel in which Clarice McClellan disappears begins "It was a pleasure to burn" and is a novel about Guy Montag written by Ray Bradbury?
Fahrenheit 451.
Is right. North Boone. What battle in which William Prescott defended the Charlestown Peninsula was won by the British near Boston and was actually fought on Breed's Hill?
Bunker Hill?
Yeah. Hononegah. What governing document was signed by men like William Bradford and Miles Standish in 1620 before they landed at Plymouth?
The Mayflower Compact.
Is right. North Boone. What element whose oxide is produced in the Bayer process is obtained from bauxite in the Hall-Héroult process and has the atomic symbol Al?
Aluminum?
That's right. Hononegah, what ancient Greek thinker argued that the plot of a literary work is more important than characterization in his treatise, Poetics? That's time, I'm afraid, but it was Aristotle. North Boone, what island, whose eastern coast is indented by Scoresby Sound, is governed from Nuuk and is a large island belonging to Denmark in the Arctic?
Greenland?
That's right. Hononegah, an alternate name for a unit equal to 10 to the minus 15th meters comes from what Italian scientist who names a class of particles with half-integer spins?
Torricelli.
No, that's Enrico Fermi. Those are what fermions are. North Boone, what present-day country, the base of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, has long been ruled by the Chakri dynasty from the Grand Palace in Bangkok?
Thailand?
Is right. Hononegah, since 1961, Kings Hassan II and Mohammed VI have led what country which maintains a disputed claim to the territory of Western Sahara?
Morocco.
Is right. North Boone, in a June 2023 game against the A's, Yankees starter Domingo Germán became the 24th player in MLB history to accomplish what feat?
Any of you guys have a guess?
That's time. He threw a perfect game there. Hononegah, what French author of the Persian letters articulated the idea of separation of powers in The Spirit of the Laws, which inspired the Founding Fathers?
Montesquieu.
Yes. North Boone, what YA series by Veronica Roth centers on Tris Pryor, who lives...
Divergent?
That'll do it. Hononegah, what organ whose stratum corneum is composed of dead keratin-rich cells is the human body's largest and has an outer layer called the epidermis?
The skin.
Is right. And that is the round, and that was a very impressive round from both teams, and we were tied and we stayed tied. 80-80, we're gonna put the points aside and play for some food right after this.
In December 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat in which Alabama city?
And it's time for today's Bergstrom bonus question, which is sponsored by GameStar Arcade in Durand. It's one question, it's on the buzzer, and if you get it right, nothing happens to the score, but you win a pizza and ice cream party, so that's pretty solid too. Here we go. In December of 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat in which Alabama city? That's Emma?
Montgomery.
Is right. Excellent work there. That's a pizza and ice cream party at GameStar Arcade in Durand coming your way, and a bunch of commercials coming your way. See you in a moment. Welcome back. It is time for today's lightning round. In our volleyball round, we saw some very good teamwork from these teams. Now let's see how their teamwork is at speed. North Boone, it's going to be your pick of these three categories. You could have California, you could have island fiction, or you could have places to see, and that's the letter C in quotation marks there.
I'm good with either places to see.
Okay. So I'm going to need you to identify these places whose English language names begin with the letter C. Got a minute on the clock. I do need all the answers coming from your captain. Hononegah, you're paying attention because anything they let by, you'll have a chance to steal. Here we go. The city home to the Willis Tower and Wrigley
Chicago?
Field. Yes. The state home to Yale University.
Connecticut?
Yes. South America's southernmost country.
Chile?
Yes. The country whose cities include Split and Zagreb.
Croatia?
Yes. The state capital of Ohio.
Cincinnati?
No. The world's largest inland sea.
Caspian?
Yes. The island country whose capital of Nicosia is divided by the Green Line.
Pass.
The lake on the New York-Vermont border.
Pass.
The river that forms part of the Alabama-Georgia border.
Pass.
The mountain range whose tallest peak is Mount Elbrus.
The Cascades?
No. The island country whose capital of Nicosia is divided by the Green Line.
Pass.
The lake on the New York-Vermont border.
Chesapeake Bay?
No. The river that, and that's time, but you got 5 of those, so well done. The remaining 5, Hononegah is going to have 30 seconds to steal. Hononegah, again, I need you to identify these places whose English language names begin with the letter C. Beginning with the state capital of Ohio.
Columbus.
Yes. The island country whose capital of Nicosia is divided by the Green Line.
Cyprus.
Yes. The lake on the New York-Vermont border.
Pass.
The river that forms part of the Alabama-Georgia border.
Pass.
The mountain range whose tallest peak is Mount Elbrus.
Pass.
The lake on the New York-Vermont border.
Pass.
The river that forms part of the Alabama-Georgia border.
Pass.
The mountain range whose tallest peak is Mount Elbrus.
Pass.
The lake on that, and I'm taking loops through it, but you did pick up 2 of those. Let's get those 3 that we missed. So the New York-Vermont border is Lake Champlain up there. The Alabama-Georgia border is partly defined by the Chattahoochee River. And the mountain range there, the Mount Elbrus, that's the Caucasus Mountains. Oh. So that's 50 there and 20 there, and now Hononegah is going to have their choice of island fiction or California.
We'll take California.
Okay. Name these things from the history of California. Minute on the clock. Here we go. The event that 49ers joined to pan for metal.
Gold Rush.
Yes. Tectonic disaster that struck San Francisco in 1906.
Pass.
A former actor and future president that was elected governor in 1966.
Reagan.
Yes. City near LA that's a metonym for the film industry.
Hollywood.
Yeah. The group of people denied public services by 1994's Proposition 187.
Pass.
The motorist whose beating by police led to riots in 1992.
Pass.
Yorba Linda native who resigned as president after Watergate.
Nixon.
Yes. University town where the free speech movement began.
Pass.
Actor elected governor in a 2003 recall election.
Pass.
Animal whose flag named an 1846 revolt against Mexico.
Bear.
Yes. Tectonic disaster that struck San Francisco in 1906.
Earthquake.
Yes. Group of people denied public services by 1994's proposition, and that's time, I'm afraid, but you picked 6 of those up, so 60 points your way. Well done there. North Boone, I need you to name these things from the history of California. There's 4 left, 30 seconds on the clock. Good luck. Here we go. Group of people denied
Japanese?
No. Motorist whose beating by police led to riots in 1992.
Pass.
University town where the free speech movement began.
Berkeley?
Yes. Actor elected governor in a 2003 recall election.
Pass.
Motorist whose beating by police led to riots in 1992.
Pass.
Actor elected governor in a 2003 recall election.
Newsom?
Louder?
Newsom?
No. The motorist, and that is time. So you did pick up one of those, and that means that a couple got past us here. Proposition 187 is what in California prevents public services to go to immigrants, particularly undocumented ones. There we go. The motorist who's beating by police, that was Rodney King that led to those riots. And then the actor elected governor in a 2003 recall election is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And for the folks at home, none of these players were born in 2003. So we've got another really close score here. We've got 140 to 160. That's a 1-question margin in this last round. So we'll see you for our final challenge right after this. And welcome back to the final challenge of today's game, which is brought to you by Rockford University. And it's going to be a doozy of a final challenge here because we have a 20-point margin, and every single one of these questions is 20 points on its own. Fingers on buzzers. Whatever happens here, this has been a really excellent game from both teams. Good luck. What tidal object that is created by Basil Hallward gradually becomes repulsive but keeps its owner? That is Carol Ann.
The picture of Dorian Gray.
That's right. What relatively inefficient sorting algorithm repeatedly swaps adjacent elements to order a list? That is Addie.
Random.
Nope, sorry. And that's time. It's called bubble sort because of the way the elements move. What poker hand can be referred to as a boat ranks directly above a flush in Texas Hold'em? And Addie?
A royal flush?
Sorry, no. And I'll finish the question. And requires 3 cards of one rank and 2 of another. John?
A full house.
That's right. What author, whose novels A World of Strangers and Burger's Daughter were banned during South Africa's apartheid era, wrote July's People? That's time. That's Nadine Gordimer. G.N. Lewis proposed what rule that main group atoms tend to form enough bonds with other atoms to have a full shell of 8 valence electrons? Lauren?
The octet rule?
Is right. Nice buzz. Life on Earth, Planet Earth, and the Blue Planet series are some of the nature documentaries narrated and presented by what British naturalist? That is Ava.
David Attenborough?
I think I can take that as a reasonable pronunciation. Judge? Yep. Attenborough is the usual pronunciation, but that's essentially phonetic. What author wrote about Reverend Stephen Kumalo traveling to Johannesburg to rescue his son Absalom in his novel Cry the Beloved Country? Time, that's another South African there. That's Alan Payton. The landmark known as Big Ben is a bell inside a large clock tower at the north end of what palace in London? That's Emma.
Buckingham.
No, actually, but I was done with the question. Ava?
Windsor?
No, this one's Westminster Palace. Next question. What architect, whose own home was called Taliesin, designed a house along a Pennsylvania stream for the Kaufman family called Fallingwater? Ava?
Frank Lloyd Wright?
Is right. And is right, I suppose. Next question. What mathematician proved that the sum of the reciprocals of perfect squares equals pi squared over 6, solving the Basel problem? That's time. Leonard Euler there. Arthur Conan Doyle's story, The Final Problem, describes a confrontation at Reichenbach Falls in which Sherlock Holmes fights what nemesis of his? That's Ava.
Mortimer?
No. And I was done with the question. Lauren?
Moriarty. No, I said
We'll take it. We'll take it. As a reasonable mispronunciation, honestly, the same way that happened with Attenberg. Moriarty, there's an R there. But it doesn't matter for the final result because what we have here is Hononegah 240, North Boone 180, and an excellent game by both teams. Hononegah, that's a very good team that you just beat. You should absolutely be proud of yourselves. We'll be seeing you in the next round. North Boone, I've got a feeling that we're going to be seeing you in some deep rounds of this competition in the next couple seasons. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. We'll see you all next week.